So we have this one, which is a maple. It's pretty popular in our area. A conifer, which kind of looks like a Christmas tree. A persimmon tree that grows fruit. A lemon tree that also grows fruit. Palm trees, which we see a little further south. And a willow, a weeping willow. What we called a weeping willow growing up. I grew up with one of those beside my house, which is this one over here. And then the maple tree is very popular in our region of Georgia also. This tree grows in the country. It might grow in your yard too. Do you know what kind it is? That tree right there. It's an apple tree. This apple tree came from seeds. The seeds was small. It grew inside an apple. Have you ever seen an apple seed? Ask an adult to help you cut an apple in two. The seeds are in the center. They look like this. There's the apple tree again. And the inside of the apple and the seeds and the core. Most apple trees come from seeds that are planted. Sometimes an apple tree grows from a seed that falls on the ground. The wind blows leaves over the seed, and the wind blows soil over the seed. All winter, the seed lies under the leaves in the soil. All winter, the seed lies under the ice and the snow and is pushed out of the ground. Spring comes, rain falls, the sun comes out and warms the earth. The seed begins to grow. So in the fall, when the seed falls on the ground, it gets covered up by the leaves and the dirt. And then again in winter, you have it covered up by the snow and ice. But in the spring, you see the sun shining, and the seed growing, sprouting a little bit out of the ground. At first, the young plant does not look like a tree. The tree is very small. It only has a stem with 2 leaves. That has no apples on it. A tree must grow up before it has apples on it. Each year the tree grows. It grows tall. In 7 years, it is tall that you can stand under its branches. In the spring, there are blossoms on the tree. Spring is apple blossom time. Well, there it is. Just a little bitty sprout of a tree. And that's what it looks like in the spring with all the pink and white blossoms on it. The blossoms last only a few days. Then they fall into the ground. Now there are more green leaves on the apple tree. Among the leaves are small apples. The apples are where the blossoms were before. The apples are green, and they are almost too small for you to see. The apples grow slowly. So it looks like where you see here, the flowers are. See on this one, the flowers fell off. That little dots you see are the apples. The birds are very interested in it. So is the bees. They're probably interested in the blooms that are falling. They grow all during the spring and summer. In the fall, they are large and ripe and ready to eat. So I know Lucas, if I have done this, you might have too. You might go to an apple orchard and pick apples in the fall. It's close to the time where you might go pick out a pumpkin. We can see the apples and the leaves on the branches. We can see the branches growing out of the trunk. We can see the trunk growing out of the ground. We can see the bark of the tree. The bark covers the branches and the trunks like a coat. But there is a part of the tree that we cannot see. What do you think that part is? Let's find out. We cannot see the roots. They are under the ground. Some of the roots are large. Some of them are as small as hairs. The roots grow like branches under the ground. A tree could not live without their roots. Roots hold the trunk in the ground. Roots keep the trees from falling when the wind blows. Roots keep the rain from washing the tree out of the ground. See where the storms and the wind's blowing? The roots help keep the tree safe from blowing over. Roots do something more. They take care of water from the ground. They carry the water into the trunk of the tree. The trunk carries the water to the branches. The branches carry the water to the leaves. Hundreds and hundreds of leaves grow on the branches. The leaves make food from water and air. They make food when the sun shines. The food goes into the branches. Goes into the trunk and the roots. It goes to every part of the tree. Fall comes and winter is near. The work of the leaves are over. The leaves turn yellow and brown. The leaves die and fall off to the ground. Now the tree is bare. All winter it looks dead. But the tree is not dead. Under its coat of bark, the tree is alive. You guys might go for walks or drives to see beautiful leaves changing in the fall. I love to ride around in mid-October to do that. Spring comes again and rain falls. Oh, you guys are going to love this picture. How beautiful. Look at the illustrations. Look at the rainbow and the rain. The sun shining through the clouds. The sun warms the earth. The blossoms and new leaves grow. As long as it lives, the apple tree grows. As long as it lives, the apple tree blossoms in the spring and the apples grow on it. So the cycle starts all over with the blossoms. See the honeybees around the blossoms. When do you like apple trees best? In the spring, when they are covered with blossoms. In the summer, when they are covered with leaves. In the winter, when it is bare. Or in the fall, when it is covered with apples. So I'll show that so you guys can think about it. So we have the spring. You guys can kind of vote and pick which one's your favorite. We have the spring, where you see the beautiful blossoms. So it's beautiful to see with our eyes. But then the blossoms fall off. And it's just trees. So a nice shade. It looks like they're having a picnic underneath it in the summertime. This is the summer tree with just the leaves. And some little bitty apples on it growing. Then we have in the fall, where the leaves are maybe changing colors and falling. But then you have these big, beautiful, tasty apples you can eat from the tree that is. Or, do you like looking at the tree when it's bare and maybe a little bit of snow covered? When you're looking out your window because it's a little too cold to go outside. You guys can think about that. Talk to an adult about it. So you can find out more about trees. This is actually telling you how you could plant a tree, an apple tree, or get one started. Which you would, says you need like just how we start our trees, where you have the clear plastic bag, and after you eat an apple, you can take the seeds and, rinse them off, and then keep them moist in a bag and let them kind of sprig out like that. You have to make sure that it stays moist and watered. Then once it's kind of sprouted out, like any other seed, you can go ahead and plant it. And it'll grow. Plant it in a smaller cup, and then just watch it as it grows. And later, when it's big enough, you can plant it outside and watch the cycle. Just remember that an apple takes about 7 years to produce fruit that you can eat. I hope you enjoyed our book, A Tree is a Plant. Had some really fun facts in it about trees, apple trees. I look forward to reading to you again later, and I hope you're having a great week. Bye.